In a world divided by ideological differences, the Cold War was a period of intense rivalry between two global superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union. But what if this simmering conflict erupted into a full-blown war? Welcome to the Alternate History Channel, where we explore compelling what-if scenarios. Today, we delve into the gripping question: what if the Cold War turned hot? Join us as we embark on a journey through an alternate timeline, where the delicate balance of power collapses and the world is engulfed in a devastating conflict. Brace yourself for a tale of geopolitical tension, military confrontations, and the harrowing consequences that follow. Let's delve into this captivating what-if scenario and witness the cataclysmic events that reshape our world. In the aftermath of World War II, the world found itself divided into two ideological camps. On one side, the United States and its Western allies championed democracy and capitalism. On the other, the Soviet Union and its Eastern Bloc nations advocated for communism. This division marked the beginning of the Cold War, a period of intense rivalry, ideological confrontation, and a precarious balance of power. As the two superpowers vied for global influence, tensions simmered and proxy conflicts flared across the globe. The stakes were high, with the ever-present threat of nuclear annihilation looming in the background. In this alternate timeline, the Cold War takes a dangerous turn towards a hot war as a result of a volatile situation in the divided city of Berlin. It is the early 1960s, and East Germany, under Soviet influence, decides to take drastic measures to solidify its control over the city. In an audacious move, East German forces, with the backing of the Soviet Union, initiate a full-scale invasion of West Berlin. Caught off guard, NATO forces scramble to respond, leading to intense street-to-street fighting and a rapid escalation of hostilities. The conflict in Berlin triggers a domino effect, with both sides activating their military alliances. The United States, as the leader of NATO, mobilizes its forces, while the Soviet Union reinforces its Eastern European allies. Within weeks, what started as a localized crisis in Berlin spirals into a wider regional war. Conventional forces clash across Europe, with battles raging in Germany, Poland, and the Baltics. Both sides unleash their military might, and the once feared spectre of nuclear war becomes a chilling reality. As the war intensifies, the conflict expands beyond Europe. Proxy conflicts in Asia, Africa, and Latin America ignite, drawing in nations aligned with either the United States or the Soviet Union. The world witnesses a devastating and unprecedented scale of destruction as the superpowers wage war by proxy on multiple continents. The situation becomes increasingly dire as tactical nuclear weapons are deployed in the heat of battle, raising the stakes to an unimaginable level. The world holds its breath, fearing the escalation to all-out nuclear war. As the war engulfs the world, nations find themselves locked in a desperate struggle for survival. The conflict unfolds on multiple fronts, with each side seeking to gain the upper hand and tip the balance of power in their favor. In Europe, the battleground stretches from the fields of Germany to the mountainous terrains of the Balkans. The strategic city of Warsaw becomes a focal point of fierce fighting as NATO forces rally to defend the Polish capital against a Soviet onslaught. The city becomes a symbol of resistance, with urban warfare and block-by-block combat grinding the conflict to a stalemate. Further south, the Adriatic coast becomes a naval battleground as the United States and its allies attempt to break the Soviet naval blockade. Naval vessels clash in the waters off the coast of Yugoslavia, with both sides striving for control of crucial sea lanes. Meanwhile, in the Middle East, the conflict spills over into the region's powder keg of tensions. The Soviet Union seizes the opportunity to support its Arab allies, leading to a full-scale invasion of Israel. The Israeli Defense Forces put up a determined resistance, backed by military aid from the United States. The desert becomes a theater of intense tank battles, with the outcome of the war in the balance. In the Pacific, the United States mobilizes its forces to protect its interests in Asia. The Korean peninsula once again becomes a battleground, with North Korea launching a surprise attack on South Korea, hoping to reunify the divided nation under communist rule. The conflict escalates rapidly, drawing in China and the United States, resulting in a brutal and protracted war that echoes the original Korean War. As the conflict rages across continents, the toll on civilian populations is immeasurable. Major cities lie in ruins, and millions of lives are lost in the relentless march of war. The world watches in horror as the unthinkable becomes reality, with nuclear weapons unleashed in isolated incidents, leaving vast areas devastated by the unimaginable power of atomic bombs. Amidst the chaos, diplomatic efforts falter as the desire for a decisive victory takes precedence. The fragile balance of power that had kept the Cold War at bay is shattered, replaced by an all-consuming hunger for domination. The climax of this devastating conflict arrives in a pivotal battle near the Polish-German border. NATO forces, reinforced by fresh recruits and remnants of defeated nations, mount a daring offensive against the Soviet stronghold. In a desperate bid to break through, both sides commit their remaining reserves and unleash a ferocious display of firepower. The Battle of Oder-Neisse becomes a turning point, where the fate of the war hangs in the balance. The outcome of this battle will determine the course of the conflict and potentially the future of humanity. The Battle of Oder-Neisse becomes a pivotal moment in the catastrophic conflict. NATO forces, bolstered by their determination and newfound unity, launch a massive assault on the Soviet stronghold. The battle rages for days, with heavy casualties on both sides. In a daring maneuver, NATO's armoured divisions break through the Soviet defensive lines, causing a rupture in the enemy's formation. The momentum shifts, and NATO forces push forward, seizing key strategic positions and cutting off Soviet supply lines. With the balance of power shifting, the Soviet Union finds itself in a precarious position. The conflict has taken a toll on its economy and military capabilities. Internal divisions begin to surface, as some factions question the wisdom of continuing the war. The Soviet leadership, faced with mounting pressure, seeks a ceasefire and enters into negotiations with NATO. After months of intense diplomatic efforts, a peace agreement is reached. The Treaty of Helsinki is signed, bringing an end to the devastating conflict. The terms of the treaty are harsh for the Soviet Union, which is forced to make significant territorial concessions and undergo a process of demilitarization. One of the most critical aspects of the post-war landscape is the handling of nuclear weapons. Recognizing the grave danger they pose to humanity, both NATO and the Soviet Union agree to disarmament measures. Under the guidance of the newly established Global Nuclear Disarmament Organization, the dismantling and disposal of nuclear arsenals begin in a coordinated and verifiable manner. International inspections and strict protocols ensure the irreversible elimination of nuclear weapons. Special attention is given to preventing nuclear materials from falling into the wrong hands. The world collectively breathes a sigh of relief as the threat of nuclear annihilation is significantly reduced. However, the process of nuclear disarmament is not without its challenges. Some nations, wary of the instability brought about by the recent war, are hesitant to completely abandon their nuclear capabilities. Extensive negotiations and diplomatic efforts are undertaken to build trust and persuade these nations to join the disarmament initiative. Meanwhile, the devastating impact of the war prompts a global re-evaluation of security and diplomatic strategies. The concept of collective security gains traction, with nations recognizing the importance of international cooperation in preventing future conflicts. Regional alliances strengthen, and the United Nations assumes a more prominent role in mediating disputes and promoting global stability. The world awakens to a new reality. The once dominant superpowers have been humbled, their military prowess diminished. In the aftermath of the war, a period of profound geopolitical restructuring begins. Eastern Europe undergoes a dramatic transformation. Former Soviet satellite states, liberated from the grip of communism, embrace democratic ideals and pursue closer ties with the West. Poland, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, and others establish themselves as thriving democracies, joining NATO and the European Union. Germany, once divided by the Iron Curtain, reunifies as the scars of the Cold War begin to heal. The Berlin Wall, once a symbol of division, is torn down, and the city becomes a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. The repercussions of the war reverberate across the globe. In the Middle East, the power dynamics shift as the United States, having consolidated its influence, brokers a comprehensive peace agreement between Israel and its Arab neighbors. The region experiences a period of relative stability, laying the groundwork for future cooperation. In Asia, the Korean peninsula remains divided, but the war's end brings renewed efforts for diplomatic resolution. Talks between North and South Korea gain traction, leading to the easing of tensions and a gradual process of reconciliation. The Cold War turned hot has left an indelible mark on the world. It serves as a sobering reminder of the destructive power of ideological conflict and the fragility of peace. The scars of the war will take generations to heal, but the shared experience serves as a powerful catalyst for change. The world emerges from the ashes of the devastating conflict with a renewed commitment to diplomacy, cooperation, and the pursuit of global stability. Efforts to rebuild war-torn regions and heal the wounds of the past are undertaken on an unprecedented scale. International organizations, backed by a collective resolve, work tirelessly to provide humanitarian aid, promote economic development, and foster reconciliation among nations. The aftermath of the conflict also leads to significant advancements in technology and scientific cooperation. As nations redirect their resources from military endeavors to peaceful pursuits, scientific research flourishes. Collaborative efforts result in breakthroughs in medicine, renewable energy, space exploration, and communication, ushering in a new era of progress for humanity. The experience of the Cold War turned hot serves as a constant reminder of the catastrophic consequences that can arise from geopolitical tensions. Lessons learned from this alternate history scenario become ingrained in the collective consciousness of nations, shaping policies and decision-making processes for generations to come. As the world moves forward, scarred but resilient, the memory of the Cold War turned hot remains etched in the annals of history. It stands as a testament to the power of diplomacy, the need for cooperation, and the unwavering human spirit that yearns for peace. This concludes our exploration of the gripping alternate history scenario of What If the Cold War Turned Hot? We hope you found this journey through a tumultuous world thought-provoking and enlightening. Remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more captivating content, and share your thoughts and ideas in the comments section below. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep questioning the course of history.